I'm not even in focus.
Okay, let's see now. All right. I believe we're live.
Isn't there
Look,
usually like a
yeah.
live button?
I know, normally there is. Hello guys, can you hear us and see us? Hello, hello guys, can you hear us? Maybe if you... Yes, you can. Awesome. We were worried a little bit. Ah, very good. Whew. As you can see, we were having minor difficulties here again at the beginning. We had this before. We're so sorry for that.
Why are you sweating?
Well, I was trying to set everything up, you know. Very good. Awesome. How are you guys?
Sorry. Disclaimer, guys, I'm actually not feeling well.
Yeah, little life update.
For the last few days, I've actually not been feeling well.
Exactly. Adanna's unfortunately a little sick.
But we would not miss this for the world.
Exactly.
And of course, it's our milestone, okay, guys? 3 months of To Navigate series where we've literally not missed an episode.
Exactly. 3 months. Can you imagine? We didn't really know where this was going at the beginning, to be honest. But we're obviously super happy that we've now already made it through to 3 months. And we kind of want to celebrate this with you today.
Someone said they're not hearing anything.
Oh, guys, can you hear us? You're not hearing anything.
Can you comment if you can hear us?
Okay, please. We obviously would want to make sure. Can you hear us? Let's see in the chat.
Thank you.
Okay, very good.
Okay, people said they can hear. Thank you for everyone
Okay.
saying get well soon. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Now, with that in mind, though, we didn't want to miss our little tradition at the beginning of the video. Now, unfortunately, Adanna, obviously has to take care a little bit of her health, but we're still gonna pour you a little bit at least.
Yeah, just for
Tiny
the
bit.
symbol.
So we're gonna have a Chardonnay today, a white wine, since Adanna loves white wine. So again, we hope you guys have your wine or juice or water ready. There you go.
Thank you.
And you're gonna enjoy the video today. There we go, because we're gonna celebrate. Besides sickness, besides everything else, we're gonna celebrate anyway. So cheers to 3 months.
Cheers.
Prost.
3 months. Prost. It's the symbol.
So, we hope you guys are doing well. Who do we have here today? We have Germany, of course. Florida, Darmstadt. Very good. Tequila. You have tequila, Pamela. We're very good. Israel, awesome.
Oh my God! Someone says Adanna is pregnant.
Oh, trust me, we will be the first ones to know.
Guys.
We would be the ones to know first, please.
I have tonsillitis. That's my diagnosis. I have tonsillitis. I am not pregnant. So you can even just stop that rumor right here, right now.
Who else do we got? We had Heidelberg again, as always. I think you've been, for the live videos every single week so far. Tanzania.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you to who's the person from Heidelberg?
Miss Who. I think you've been with us literally every single week. So welcome, welcome, welcome. As we had said, we are going to do actually a live Q&A today. We wanted to celebrate our 3 months milestone, literally with giving you the opportunity to ask us questions today exclusively, because we realize, sorry, did you just see?
No, someone said 3 month celebration of what?
Sorry.
Of the To Navigate live series.
Fair question, yes.
Yeah, because we only started coming live on YouTube 3 months ago.
Exactly 3 months. Yeah, that's episode number 12.
So this is, episode number 12, 3 months. And
Exciting.
we have been consistent. So I think it's something to be happy about, because I'll tell you, today was one of those days where we could have not showed up for good reason. Of course, we would have told you, but for good reason. But we said, no, we are not breaking our streak.
Absolutely.
We are coming, unless I have to be carried. As long as I can sit on my sofa, we just turn on the camera. So this is the third month of celebrating. So
exactly,
we're gonna leave it open. If you have any questions, ask us. We're not going by any theme today. So if there's anything,
exactly,
you want to ask us.
And because also we realized that in some of the other videos, we only ever had like a couple of minutes or so, like to answer one or two questions, and that's also what we said today. This is all about you and all about your questions, with no particular topic in mind. So we really want to give you guys the chance to ask us anything that we maybe didn't get to answer in previous videos, or that you always wanted to ask us anyway.
Shout out to Cindy Shepherd. She said, I've been here since the beginning, but I don't comment all the time because I'm at work.
That's okay. I hope
shout out.
I hope you have headphones on, so don't worry. We see that you're here.
Shout out for commenting today.
Exactly. And obviously forgive us. You can imagine that the reason we're obviously looking down is because we're looking at your comments. So again, forgive us if we're slightly looking down to the laptop.
Thank you, Sika Nova.
Yeah.
Said 3 months of awesome content. I'll get the champagne. Cheers to many more.
I would say cheers to that.
To you.
So let's get right into it, I would say. Let's see what questions do you have for us today. Nikki is asking, what ways do you raise the boys to not have toxic masculinity? A very good question. I think the most important piece there really is living by example, or leading by example in that case, right? So the way, obviously, I would say we live our relationship, we live our life, the way we both behave. Myself, of course, as the father to the two boys, showing what we believe is the right way to, be in a relationship and treat just people in general as a, as a man, boy, man, I think is important. But also, of course, having Adanna as the mother is probably the best training anyway of seeing, a very strong, determined woman as well. Like, I think it's really leading by example. I would say it's the first piece.
But also teaching, like, when it comes to like emotions, we're not gonna say to the boys, don't cry, boys don't cry, boys don't do this, boys don't do that. There's no, like, literally, we have never said boys don't do this.
Right.
Or because that's insinuating that girls do it and boys are not supposed to.
Right.
We don't do that. So that's one example,
Yeah.
If a girl can do it, a boy can do it. If a girl can play with it, a boy can play with it.
Very true, yes.
That's one way.
Correct.
So you read out the questions.
I read out the question. I can see. Well, people are commenting on your skincare routine. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
And a compliment.
The funny thing. So obviously, in light of me not feeling well today, we mustered the strength to take the boys to the birthday that they got invited to this afternoon. I was literally dying. But then I got back home, I was like, I cannot even be bothered to put on makeup. I don't have the energy. But in addition, the fact that this is a 3-month milestone celebration, I come as I am. That's the theme for this celebration, is I come as I am. With Vaseline on my lips.
Yes. That just shows you how
strong
she is.
But thank you for the skincare compliment.
All right, let's see. What else do we got? Let's just go through some of the questions you guys had already put down there. Would you guys consider moving closer to your families at some point for the sake of Keen and Noor to be closer to their grandparents? I mean, in theory, yes, of course. You can imagine a lot of pieces have to kind of, I think, fall into place there. You also have to keep in mind, job and business opportunities, right? Mm-hmm. And I think what we also managed so far, at least quite good, is kind of obviously making sure that we see our families, specifically the grandparents, as much at least as we can. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. So we I think for us, family is very important. Yeah. And we've always made sure, and even especially now in the last few months during lockdown and everything, we've also, for example, made sure that we video call all our families. Every other day, I would say at least some members of the family always. So. Yes, so family is very important. If we really would physically move, again, would I think very much depend on a lot of different aspects. It's not just for the kids to be closer to the grandparents. There's obviously a lot of other decisions or factors rather that make up the decision.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're very much close to them. It was my dad's birthday yesterday, so we all had a virtual birthday party celebration. Like literally everyone was in the house except us.
Yeah, unfortunately,
but we were there virtually.
Spirit,
So we see them once, twice, 3 times.
Yeah.
However, once definitely with the trip to Nigeria.
Yeah.
But
true.
Yeah, but David said it better. It's our decision or consideration of moving goes beyond just being close to the grandparents. There are other factors like job opportunities and
right
stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Cass is asking, how do you get over hard times? Do you go to sleep upset with one another? Actually, very, very good question, because I think we're in, I don't know if it was the last one or the one before, so we actually addressed a little bit about how we normally, how to handle arguments or conflict in at least our relationship, right? But just to kind of recap or summarize a little bit of what we had shared in that video is it's very important actually for us, that's something that we have certainly learned over time, is that we actually do not go to bed or try not to go to bed upset, right? It's one of the things, of course, people have different styles of handling conflict, and of course you have to find a compromise with the partner, what he or she, the way he or she handles conflict. But I think it's very, very important to not leave it too late, right? There are moments, of course, in the heat of the conflict, of course, you don't want to necessarily, address everything at that moment because people are emotional and upset. But generally speaking, we try to address any issue quite early on, quickly on, so that we don't, for example, go to bed upset, But I mean, if the argument happens in the middle of the or at night, in the evening, yeah, it might have happened, but then certainly the next morning we'll probably sit down and sort it out, So we don't want to leave too much time.
We literally don't even leave anything until the next morning.
We don't.
Especially me, with me trying to be like, let's talk about this. We talked about this the right time and place, but anyway, we generally don't go to bed upset.
Very true, very true. Wow, a lot of people that are tuning from Germany, Somalia, amazing. What comment are you laughing about?
Sylvia said David has an amazing voice. Can he sing?
All right, well, Sylvia.
Oh my God.
I do appreciate the question. So let me say 2 things.
Actually, let me answer that. David can sing in the shower.
No, that's a little bit unfair.
Where there is the echo and steam.
Let me also maybe add that, to your surprise, I actually was, at some point in my life, I actually thought I might become a music teacher for disabled children. That's true.
Yeah, okay.
That's the truth.
Yeah, because of your skills, not your singing, not your voice.
Correct, because so my skills meaning more the instrument side. So I can play a lot of instruments, right?
Yeah.
I learned the piano, I'm very good at drums and percussions and stuff. But for the entry exam into music school, you actually have to sing.
You sang? Sorry, babe. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for it to come out that way, but it actually did.
Guys, was it just me or did that sound slightly, sarcastic? Anyway, oh my God, sorry. Just before I tell you the story, Shameless Mamina, thank you so much for the contribution. That's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate that. But back to my singing story. So, for the entry exam into music school, besides playing instruments, besides a theory test, you actually also had to present your vocals. And I had to sing 2 songs. I sang a classical song, and I can't believe I'm actually going to say that. And I also then had to sing a pop song, and I sang Robbie Williams' "Angel."
Robbie Williams.
And you will be very happy to hear that actually I passed that exam. So clearly, say what you want. A music school, a music university back in Germany actually deemed me,
deemed you
my skills
eligible.
Vocally and on the instruments sufficient to join the music school. So, look, I'm obviously not very good in singing. My sister is very, very good in singing, by the way. But I think I can sing a little bit, Yeah.
Okay. Moving on.
But anyway, thanks for the question.
Okay.
What else do we have?
Questions here. Let's see. Oh, Jesus Christ.
What do we got?
People.
Spring fresh. When do you know to take a break from life? I mean, we're not entirely sure what exactly you're referring to, but I think the way I'm understanding is maybe to kind of take some time out for yourself, maybe some sort of me time, or you time in that case, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
No, generally we have a good sense of that.
Yeah.
That's a lie. We don't have a good sense of that. David has a better sense of knowing when to pause, take a break than I do. And I think you get that generally with entrepreneurs. Like if you're running a business and the weight of everything falls on you, obviously there's a lot more responsibility than if you were an employee in a company. So for me, I think I've been going through that stress lately, hence why, my immune system is just all over the shop.
All over, yeah.
Now I'm sick. But the funny thing is 2 days ago, before I got to this state of of illness, David said to me, I think you've been overworking yourself, choose a day and take it off. Like take a day off, go somewhere. I will be with the boys. And I think so he perceived that I really needed that, even though I thought I needed it, but the pressure of just keeping my businesses going was there. So it's difficult to know when for me, but David, you generally have a sense for yourself.
Do I? I mean, so before I talk about myself, I was going to say, of course, I think it's just in any relationship where, I think it's very important to acknowledge for yourself that your partner at some point will have to, that it is normal to have that in a relationship, that, each partner needs at some point a break. And I don't mean a break from the relationship, but this sort of me time and kind of time out, that doesn't mean that doesn't say anything about the, how good the relationship is. It's normal, So for me, for example, knowing this about Adanna as well, like as soon as I see she's getting to that point and whether she realizes it herself or not, it's important also for me to then, of course, tell her, number one, I believe it's time for you to, take it a bit more easy. And then also, of course, offer the kind of the freedom for her to do that. On the other hand, of course, for myself, I think, as you said, maybe I'm a little better and doing it more continuously and not then ending up sort of needing, like, getting kind of to, not a breaking point, but, like a very tough spot in a way. I mean, look, I think it's really about knowing yourself well. It really comes down to that kind of self-reflection, knowing your body, knowing when when you reach a level, and I think you say it you said it to me a few times, like it's very rare for me to get to a really, really, really stressed out point.
Yeah.
Both mentally and physically, by the way. I rarely get sick, but when I do, it's bad.
Yeah.
Right? I think
he gets sick once every 2 years.
Something like that. It's very similar to my dad.
Years,
My dad, I think in his whole life has been to the hospital twice, maybe, or something. And once because there was a broken nose or something, not even because he was sick in that sense, right? So I have it from him, I think. But even mentally as well, I think I have, it's hard to really give specific advice because it really depends on you so much, but it's about trying to really, really take your time to understand yourself, right? And self-reflect. What are the things that matter to you? What's important to you? I would, for example, much easier say in the evening if we're working late or so to just cut it and say, no, you know what? My health right now, my mental and physical health is more important. Whatever tasks I have on my list that I feel like I need to be doing, sorry, but they're not more important than my physical mental health.
Do you know what? In fairness, I would say I do have a good, I suppose, self-reflection to know when I need to take a break.
Right.
Although I don't always apply that when I have a particular project.
True.
So, but I have daily practices that help me. I meditate every day.
True. Yeah.
I meditate every day. I think that helps me with my headspace. As far as like my physical health, obviously like staying up really late to work and then having to be a mom, that can take a toll on me. But I recognize this happens when there is something important that has to happen. You guys know, if you're following me on Instagram, that I am officially launching my coaching business, where I'm going to be coaching women about purpose and entrepreneurship. So that has that has taken a lot of my time the last
Yeah.
few weeks, and a lot of things have to be kicked off the ground, and it's made me a bit unwell. But
Yes,
generally,
yes,
I'm
yes.
good.
That's true. Yeah, the
Okay.
stress is a lot. One question is really great question actually. That's very very close to my heart. Having traveled to too many countries and lived in a relatively foreign country for a while now, what advice do you all have for travelers in regards to embracing other cultures without giving up your own? Why I like this question a lot, and it's quite close to my heart. So when I was 16, actually, I moved to Brazil. So I lived in Brazil, and by the way, I saw somebody commenting from Rio de Janeiro. Some, much love and greetings to you. But I lived in Brazil for a year, which was kind of my first really exposure of, obviously, as a 16-year-old, like outside of home, away from Germany. And that's really where I started to kind of, like my love, let's say, for exploring the world and really embracing other cultures. And I've come back, and I changed, obviously. So there are a lot of things, for example, I then realized about myself that I absolutely loved about the Brazilian culture. Equally, though, you also, only by exploring the world, you really understand and appreciate your own culture. Now, that might be coming from, obviously, somebody from Germany, where you can argue maybe our culture per se is not as prominent in our daily life like it is in other places. Think of, generally speaking, Asia and, of course, Africa. Of course, culture there already has a much more dominant role. But certainly for somebody like coming from Germany, that was also a lesson for me to actually appreciate what we do have. I never thought of it of like, oh my God, I'm from Germany, that's amazing. Generally, no, I really never. But hearing, of course, so many people like, oh my God, you must be so proud of coming from Germany and so forth. So it had really it had cemented, if you want, both views, And then, of course, moving to South Africa, living in Uganda for a while, moving to Kenya, all these other elements, Mozambique, added to that as well, right? So for me, one of the key things, if you were in that position or if you're planning to travel a lot, it's about observation, okay? Being really observant of like how people behave, react, talk, that for me was the key lesson really. And look, at the end of the day, you for yourself have to make a decision. What are the elements, for example, you really like about something you see? And it's okay, and what are the elements you don't?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's one example. In both cultures, the Brazilian culture or South American culture, because also they're quite similar on the continent, and the African cultures, one thing I really, really absolutely loved was, for example, the respect for elders. It completely changed my relationships with my grandparents. At the time I came back from Brazil already, and unfortunately only my one grandmother is alive by now, but even at the time when others were still alive, it completely changed my view of them. Yeah. It's just one example. I completely dropped, whatever I knew before, the way I thought of my grandparents at the time. Just one example, and there are many others, but just one example, and that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. So for the question of how to keep your culture, like how to, I suppose, learn new cultures without losing your own, just so you know, I personally don't think that cultures are supposed to be permanent. I don't think there should be a permanent thing. I think the way that we live should evolve when we get wiser, when we get more exposed. So even though you might come from a country where certain things are done this way, if you do have the opportunity to travel and you realize, well, oh, this is done differently and I actually like the way this is done, it's okay to imbibe that. Yeah. It's okay to imbibe that. And I don't think, taking one or two aspects of different cultures is going to make you totally lose yourself as a person, especially if you're deeply rooted in yours. So it is okay to just see what works in other culture, and that just makes you a better person, and that makes you enjoy life even more.
And let's also not forget, it's always difficult because in the grand scheme of things, we're just living our life in a very, very small period of time in the grand scheme of, let's say, a culture. Okay, our 80, 90 years on this planet, okay, are nothing compared to the lifespan, let's say, of a culture or the evolution of cultures. Meaning, don't forget, every culture also changes over time.
Yeah.
At any given point in time, you believe that's a kind of a set culture. Okay, these are the rules in our culture. Yeah. This is what we do. That is nonsense. Every single culture around this world, for good or bad, worse, okay, you can always argue, evolves and
Yeah,
changes.
it might be in 100 years, you might not live through the change of your culture.
Exactly.
But trust me, your culture as you know it today is not what it
it's
was
not exactly
200 years ago.
Yeah, correct.
You know?
I mean, so even European cultures, which some might argue don't have strong cultures, again, that's questionable. But the point is, in the, let's say, about 60, 70, 80 years ago, there was also a much, like my grandparents, for example, or great-grandparents would tell you, would have told you, like, no, we had a very strong culture in Germany. It's really just since the 60s, 70s that this whole kind of, was, let's say, a little more liberated from that kind of sense, So every culture over time evolves. So therefore, it's completely okay for you to also evolve in your views on certain cultures.
Can I say, because there's a lot of people saying that it keeps cutting off on their end.
No.
Cutting off.
Oh, no.
It's totally off.
We're so sorry.
Can you guys hear us?
Can you guys still hear us, though?
It looks like it's cut off.
You can hear us. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Well, we're very sorry then for those of you maybe who might have some issues with that.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. Okay. By the way, I wanted to just quickly. There was one question that I wanted to address. Sylvia, 2 questions she asked. Do you prefer Nigerian food or German food? That's easy. Nigerian, I think.
Yeah.
Right. That's an easy
German
one.
Food?
What do you mean? What's German food?
What, bratwurst?
Potatoes, potato
Potato
salad.
is food from anywhere.
No, but sausages.
No,
please.
Sorry,
Let's
can I mention how many countries eat potatoes?
But
do you
the
remember?
other, yes, go ahead.
No, I remember when we were dating, and then you came with this like German cookbook. Till today, you never opened those cookbooks.
Please. Anyway, and Sylvia Mura also asked though, try Portuguese food. I agree, it's amazing. Davi, can you speak Portuguese, right? Can you teach Adanna? Yes, Sylvia. Eu falo português. Sim, claro. And I rather have Adanna teach me Igbo first, before I start teaching her Portuguese. But yes, correct. I do speak and understand Portuguese, obviously because of the time in Brazil. But yes, but I rather prefer.
And we have to apologize if the live keeps cutting off. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, there's a few questions. Someone says, the kids have biblical names.
Yeah.
What religion are you? We were both, I mean, your religion is only like, it's only what your parents passed on to you. So in that sense, we're both Christian.
True.
Yeah, we're both Christian.
Yeah.
I'd consider myself more spiritual than religious, quite frankly. I don't go to church on Sundays. But I pray. Yeah, so we are Christians in this household. Even though I know that there's a lot of Christians that really just, I think what makes you a good Christian is if you go to church every Sunday. So I might be a bad Christian.
No, I think I honestly, personally, I believe a really good, genuine Christian is determined by daily actions, not what you do on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, exactly.
I genuinely believe what you do over the span of your lifetime, every single day, determines whether you're a good Christian or not.
Yeah.
No, but anyway.
And that's that, because we get that question a lot.
Yes.
I don't know why people are so interested
Very
in our
true.
religion, but there you go.
Oh my God, Priscilla asked about way back in the day when we danced, and Priscilla, you would like to see us dance again. Well, let's see about that. But what I love about the comment is you obviously reference one of my favorite songs at the moment, the KG Master Jerusalema dance, which yes, absolutely, I completely love.
Yeah, okay, I know. You play this every day.
It's going completely crazy. I know it's viral over the internet. I'm not entirely sure whether we're going to dance to that, but I do agree. I love the song. Yeah. It's a great song. A lot of people from Germany. I'm loving this. Very good. Not far from Stuttgart. Yes. We've been there, of course. What else do we got? Come on.
I think now it's a lot of like religious questions.
Yes. What else? Oh, interesting.
Would you guys encourage your children to follow your career path?
No, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't deliberately encourage or discourage them. you know, so I would encourage what they choose
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't influence their decision because it's what we're doing.
Completely.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, if they would come to us with questions about this, maybe because, of course, because of our work, we might tend to talk about it or something at home, and they might get curious about it. Of course, we would, sit them down or share information, but I would in no way would I kind of make it a mission or something, or attempt to even steer them in any direction. I think that usually can only lead to disaster in the future, in their life, if it doesn't come from their own heart.
So Rose said, Adanna, can you speak about your weight loss journey and what helped you besides not eating after 8 p.m.?
Well, she clearly has been following you, by the way, to even know that.
Yeah. So I would genuinely take this from me when I tell you the one thing that really helped me is a mindset shift. A shift in my mindset was the most powerful thing.
Yeah.
This is the most effortless weight loss journey I've been on, number one. Number two, it's one I've been on without calorie counting, which I don't usually do anyway. No, no diet meal plan, nothing. It is your mindset, like, guys. Tell them. Our minds are the most powerful tools that we have, and not a lot of people understand how powerful we are. If you wake up one morning and say, I want to do this, you
Genuinely
will. Like, if you say to a mountain, move, that mountain will move. If you believe that it will move. I'm not even joking. So over the
Wednesday
so
sermon.
I've lost about not that I was checking, but I did notice. I didn't check it regularly, but I would say I've lost a good 10 kg. I think it mostly this was weight that wasn't even there before but came after motherhood. So mindset shift, and the mindset shift that I had was telling myself I generally want to be healthy. I don't want to be skinny. I don't want to fit any beauty standards. I want to be healthy. And I think that decision came I think it was just, I went through this just bad eating habit, not being intentional, being a very busy person, being a mom, everything that I had going on. I would just nibble and pick and eat without intention, without any mindful relationship with what I was eating and what time I was eating it, right?
Yeah.
And then there was one night, I think I had the worst stomach ache in my entire life.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely thought I was gonna die. And I was like, why does my belly hurt so much? And I realized I think I had chocolate at like 10 p.m.
Ooh, shame on you. Well.
Did you just...
Well.
Don't let me expose you. Did you genuinely just say shame on me?
We're not talking about me. They did not ask me. So, you talk about your journey. Let's just leave my journey. I'm still in the parking lot, let's put it that way.
Anyway, so I woke up and I made a plan. So I spoke to first things first, then I spoke to my sister, my twin. You guys know my twin is she's a health and fitness enthusiast. She's the founder of Lean Whole Foods that's based in Abuja. And I just had like a consult with her. It's like, listen, it's time. I want to make a drastic change to my life. What would you advise? I don't want to go on any diet that I'm not going to stick to. I don't want to calorie count. I don't want to weight watch and food watch and all that. Yeah. And she said, well, listen, like intermittent fasting. And she gave me the benefits. And it wasn't intermittent fasting for being skinny or whatever. Yeah. It's literally, she said, giving your gut time to relax.
Cleansing,
and
right?
Cleansing and just cleansing your system, like, eat healthier, more vegetables. Don't eat after a certain time. So she gave me like this intermittent fasting plan. And I will tell you, it's the first time I stuck to it so effortlessly because my mind was ready. My mind was ready and I knew that I was not doing it for any beauty, anything. I literally just wanted to be healthy. Oh my God, in 1 week, I was a different woman. In 1 week. So that's how I lost the weight. incorporating the intermittent fasting, making sure that I do not eat late at night, because I realized me eating late at night, I was not hungry. It was just bad habits. It was just a bad habit. And eating well generally.
Yeah, very true.
Obviously, before the lockdown, you guys know I'm a gym bunny. I love going to the gym, but I didn't really have the chance to do it. And I didn't really also have the time to incorporate that. I wouldn't say I didn't have the time. The lockdown was just a lot on us in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I wasn't necessarily working out every day at home. But yeah, your mindset and deciding for yourself you want to be healthy, and everything will fall into place.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry that I took so long answering this question. I've just been very passionate about it, because a lot of people ask me, and I feel like this is the first time that being healthy has come so easy to me, because I was mentally prepared for a good reason. Like I knew my why.
You wanted it.
I knew my why. I knew
Purpose.
why I was doing it. I knew my purpose
Right.
was my health and my well-being, and I achieved it. So
Hey.
yeah.
What else can you say?
Okay, sorry, let's just move on.
Serafina asked, hi beautiful people, can you please share some ways of how you both deal with rejection in any context?
Where is this question?
Fair. I mean, I would say rejection in any context. Obviously, I guess since you said any context, of course, could be personal or professional. I think in any context, really, it is not always easy in the moment, but at the end of the day, you always realize that afterwards, every rejection, any no you get, any whatever it might be, any naysayer, is actually an opportunity. And it's such a cliche thing to say. But then again, if you think hopefully for yourself about it, in your past, hopefully you will realize it as well. Like there's always something, you just have to find it and kind of look for it, right?
Yeah.
The most obvious example I can share with you from my life, right, from a very personal perspective is I came back from South Africa. I had applied for university in Germany, very confident, never considered it to be an issue, and did not get in. Did not get into any university, and I was completely devastated because that had not crossed my mind that there's even a chance I might not get in. So you can imagine again the shock. Now again, looking back at it, it couldn't have turned out better for me, because then I had another year. I worked as a teacher then at the time, and really had time to think about, you know what, if that's now the scenario, if that's not my situation, let me actually really think about what I want to do with my life, right? And that actually ultimately led me to kind of change my career path, and that's how I ended up in the UK at university, and hence met Adanna. So all these beautiful things you've been seeing here, and all these beautiful two boys, would have probably never happened if I hadn't gotten those rejections at the time. Now, the first few weeks and months after that were painful, and I didn't see it that way.
Yeah, I think.
But it's about trying to find, you know what, that didn't work out. What could that mean? What else could I be doing? What do I learn from that? You know, so that's what I would say. And it's a little bit cliche, but if you try to apply it to your life in any small way possible, I think it actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I would echo the same thing as well. And I'd say when you said it's a cliche, it really is. For someone who is facing it in the moment, it just sounds like, this is what you feel like someone needs to tell you. Like, oh, look at it as a great opportunity. But if I relate that to my life, I have immediate, like in the moment of getting my rejection, right this minute, I actually just tell myself, there's a lesson here.
Yeah.
What is this lesson?
Right.
You know, what is the next opportunity? So over time, when you actually realize that every failure is an opportunity, every window closed opens up another door. If you start thinking about it that way, you would immediately start appreciating failures as they happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. Awesome. Let's maybe take 2 more questions or so. We're getting already slowly towards the end here.
Are we?
Well, it's 45 minutes already?
No, it's not. No, it's not 45 minutes.
It is.
I actually thought we were going to stay for 20 minutes because I'm not feeling too well.
That never really happens.
Okay.
You should know this by now.
How do you handle unsolicited, unconsolidated advice from family, friends, and other people, especially when it comes to the kids?
Good question. Now go for it.
That's a brilliant question. It is so
Is it?
brilliant. You have no idea how brilliant this question is. Because we're living proof of that. And genuinely, like when you have kids, okay, you will get unsolicited advice from friends and family members. Actually, I don't want to say friends.
Yeah.
It's family members.
It
Let's
is.
be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we've come to realize is that the advice that you get 90% of the time,
Yeah.
they want your best interest.
Yeah.
90%. I guarantee you that no one's gonna chug in their opinion about your children because they know it's gonna harm them.
Yeah.
So it comes from a good place. However, people are different, and there's a difference in opinion. There's a difference in the way that you would have raised kids in that time versus how we choose to raise kids now. So we now take the advice, we say thank you, we wrap it up in a nice bow, we chuck it in the bin. And the ones that we want to use, we actually use.
Yeah.
So we don't use every advice that we get, but rather than, I think the beginning I was getting all up in my feelings, maybe thinking that the advice someone's giving me is questioning my motherhood. But I've just realized, I mean, it's like wisdom. Like I keep saying, I think I've said this before. Every time that I kneel down to pray, I ask for one thing, and that's wisdom. Because wisdom transcends, like it's the umbrella for everything. I think wisdom makes you know which advice to take and which ones to not take.
Yeah.
So for me, we get the advice. I've stopped getting all up in my feelings because I know that it comes from a good place.
Exactly.
But then I've realized, you know what? No, actually, this advice is not one that I wish to incorporate.
Absolutely.
Maybe that worked whenever that worked, or
Yeah.
maybe you still think it works now, but that's not the way that my husband and I wish to intentionally raise our children. So
Yeah.
that's how
Agreed.
we handle it. We pick what to. And okay. That being said, there's a lot of good advice that we've also gotten from family. Let me not even talk down on that. We've gotten some really great advice that propelled our parenting.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that.
Completely.
But yeah, for the ones that we don't want to take, we just wrap it up nicely and set it aside. That's it.
That's very true.
Yeah, that's it.
Very true. We just want to quickly appreciate some of you guys tuning in for the first time to be here at the live. So welcome, of course. It's great.
Elizabeth Nduka said.
Yes, correct.
This is her first time joining.
Correct. And also somebody, consultant, said, just want to say thank you, Adanna, for talking about telling your parents about David. Not exactly the same situation, but it gave me the courage to tell my parents, and we are getting married soon.
What?
Which is awesome. Congrats. So we just want to appreciate all of you guys.
Congratulations.
That is awesome.
Congratulations.
Exactly.
Marianne Ford, first time from Tampa, Florida. Thank you so much for joining us, Marianne.
Yeah, thank you. That's awesome. Sometimes you just want to go with the flow. Correct. Yes. Another skincare routine. Oh, I think that's almost probably something for another video.
Yeah. There's a few questions.
Go
Why
for
did you give up medicine after all these years of study? I genuinely feel like this deserves an entire video that I am gonna make.
There we go.
So sorry, I'm not gonna answer it now because it deserves a whole video. Come on, after that many years of studying, I'm sure you agree that it deserves a whole video. So
Very true.
I will address that for sure.
Yes.
But maybe not today.
Very true. All right. Should we maybe see if we can get one more question or so in? Thank you, Nosipo.
Nosipo Kumani, thank you.
I assume from South Africa. Conflict resolution. Again, Dorothy, we've actually, so there are a couple of videos actually you can find also as part of that live series to navigate. We've actually talked about how to resolve conflict. So it's worth maybe checking out those as well. Love from Dallas, Texas, amazing. Minnesota. I think a lot of our American folks are slowly tuning in because of the time difference.
Eve said, my question is at the top. Sorry, Eve, we didn't see it. Do you mind just putting putting it down again, please.
Sorry. Yeah, we were just trying to figure out like all the comments. British Virgin Islands, amazing. That is amazing. Thanks for tuning in from Baden-Baden. Okay, that's hilarious. Just because that's in Germany. Karine from Germany, Cameroon, Alette, bonjour. Thank you, Fortune.
Thank you so much, everyone.
That's great.
I think should we say goodbye now?
I think yeah. Let's see. I think
it
seems like we've gotten most of the question. We're close to 50 minutes now, guys. It's always running or passing by so quickly. Zimbabwe as well, Canada. Wow.
Abiola Kuti from Dublin, Ireland. Nyasha from Zimbabwe.
Awesome.
I'm sorry to hear what's happening in Zimbabwe.
Yes.
I've tried to bring light to it on my story, but I will definitely support Zimbabwe. Definitely. My heart is with everyone there.
Oh, that's Eve is putting her question again.
Okay.
I wanted to know how you plan and save for vacations, or whether you plan for me around medics abroad. I mean, on the vacation, obviously yes, right?
Yeah,
so
we plan and save.
Obviously, yes, we do have kind of an idea for most of the year. Now, obviously, this 2020 has been a complete mess in that regard, as for everybody. But let's take the previous year. So yes, absolutely. We try and obviously plan and save for small vacation. We usually try to have one big one a year.
Yeah.
We have obviously a trip to Nigeria that we try to do every year.
Yeah.
So yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
that's completely all. Actually, genuinely, like all
Yeah.
our trips to Africa
Yeah.
is planned and saved for.
Oh yeah.
However, we've had partnership collaborations within Europe, like Germany.
Yeah.
We've had partnership collaborations with Dubai.
Yeah.
But I think we made the decision last year after our trip to Mauritius to kind of cut back on our long distance trips, because it's just us with the boys who are very active. We have no help. And it was like minding kids in a whole different location that's so far away from your home. And I don't know, we just thought, let's hold back on long distance trips until the boys are a bit older and can listen to us. But however, the other trips that we still keep doing, we plan and we save for it.
Very true, yeah. Absolutely. All right, guys, I think we are getting to the end now. We do want to thank you all, of course, for tuning in. As always, if you're not already subscribed, please make sure to subscribe.
Sorry, Nikki said, when will we be seeing a June journal? Thank you so much, Nikki. So I'll give you a little bit of context for anybody who doesn't know what the June journal is. In June, at the peak of lockdown, we incorporated a routine of journaling what we're grateful for. Because it took a whole toll on a lot of people, mentally, physically, emotionally. And rather than being in our element of sadness, we thought, you know what, let's actually start writing what it is that we're grateful for, so that we can go back in the moments that we're not feeling so good and remind ourselves why we're happy. So we have done that every single day.
Every evening.
Every evening. It's part of the kids' routine through June, July, now August. So the journal is called June Journal because we started it in June. And then the daily routine of writing what we're grateful for, we then started calling that Juning.
Yeah.
And the kids, literally, this evening, I said to Kian, it's time for Juning. He's like, no, I just want to finish my dinner. I did think he was hungry this evening because he had been snacking all evening. He's like, no, after my dinner, then he's Juning. So I love that the kids know that Juning is a word.
Exactly.
So I got inspired to produce Juning journals for families, because I didn't really see anyone for families that existed.
True. Yeah.
So,
sorry.
So to answer the question, I'm hoping that the June journals will be available by the end of the year. So maybe November.
Yeah.
I'm working on the designs at the moment. So by November.
Yeah,
hopefully.
yeah. And also you saw the clip in the last vlog from the weekend, by the way. The cute story of Keen actually now in school telling his teachers and other children about it, and has now gotten the teachers even to sit down, and sometimes, at least with the kids who wanted to sit down and do the same. and they get really inspired. So that's obviously amazing, you know,
Yeah.
that even he now is so much into it, has really bought into it and loves it, that he's now been sharing it even with his friends and with the teachers in the school, which is
Yeah.
so cool.
We're so proud.
It's really working out well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, great. So we're sending love and regards to everybody, you know, from Israel, the States, Germany, Cameroon, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much yet again for tuning in.
Thank you.
And for celebrating 3 months of the To Navigate series, and to, I would say, many, many more months and years, hopefully,
Yeah.
of these sit-downs every Wednesday.
Honestly,
We really appreciate it.
If my sickness couldn't stop me today,
Aw.
guys, there is no stopping me. There's no stopping us.
And thank you for all the well wishes. I'm sure. Let me promise you guys here now, on camera. I want to say on TV, but that's not really true. I will try my best, and I'll take care of Adanna as I always do. Okay, and she will be back to her normal self in no time. Okay, I promise you that she'll be better. If we all, you know, wish her well and pray for her, I'm sure she'll be fine by the weekend.
Thank you, guys.
All right, have a great night, and we'll see you in the next live video. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye bye.